If you can keep that in mind, then all your years are going to be saved and you're going to actually live a fruitful life. Hey guys, it's Robin and welcome back to my YouTube channel. And today let's talk a little bit about time and how there's only finite amount of time that we have and we don't have a long time on earth. But what's the best we can do is to make the best out of the time that we do have. Now, while this could be a long time, this could be a short time, we don't know. We can't make a call on that. But what we can do is try to figure out what are a few strategies out there that can really make our time worthwhile. And so let's explore that right now. People understand best when it comes to visualizing a scenario which will really directly impact their life. So let's imagine this scenario. Let's suppose that you, just like the average adult, lives up to the age of 75. And maybe right now you're maybe 19 or 20. So let's take 19 or 20 divided by 75 is roughly between a quarter and a third. So between a quarter or a third of your life has already passed you. So that's a long time, a significant amount of time. And when you think of it in any other scheme of life, a third or a quarter is a huge part of your life. But having said that, when it comes to your life, when it comes to human life, the first quarter is just about development and trying to understand what things are out there in the world. And you have time to mess up, and failure is always an option. But it's the next part of your life, maybe the next 3/4, the next 2/3. That's when you have to really make an impact on this world. Because till then you can explore this and that. And even if you fail, people are not going to really criticize you much. I know there are people out there ready to pounce on any mistake you make. For sure that's going to happen. But there's going to be much more scrutiny if you mess up in the next parts of your life, because that's the more crucial parts where you're expected to perform. We're expected to deliver on a daily basis at the highest level. Now, what we can do is that the time that's left is what we can salvage. And so whatever has gone is gone. We can't deal with it anymore. But what we can do is the time that's coming, we got to make it as useful as possible, and we got to incorporate principles that we intend to carry forward for the rest of our lives. Policies, principles that we incorporate so that every day we wake up with a similar routine and a destination to where we want to go to. If you can keep that in mind, then all your years are going to be saved and you're going to actually live a fruitful life. Now, if you're thinking, Robin, come on, 75 years is a long time. It's not like you're making it out to be. It's not that short. Let me break it down for you so that you can understand better. Let's say you're like me, 19 years old right now. So let's say you live to 75. 75 years would mean what? 75 summers, 75 springs, 75 winters and autumns. And that's only 75 times to enjoy each of this. So think about something you've done 75 times. Let's say, for example, brushing your teeth 75 times. So you've done it for 75 days and that's all you got. So think about 75 periods to enjoy each of these. Now take away your 19 because you're already 19 years old. So take away another 19 from there. Now take away another 10 to 15 years because you might have problems. Because your life is not going to be perfect. There are going to be conflicts, issues whether that's with your friends or your family members, where you couldn't enjoy this time with them. And maybe you are holding a grudge against somebody. So you might have lost a few here and there. So you can subtract that as well. So then that leaves you around roughly 40-ish of each of these to enjoy. So that's all you really have. You don't have much time when you think about it. And that's when you understand that your time is really ticking. So even if you feel you have 75 years, and that's a big if, suppose you survive till the age of 75, even then you'll have old age problems which also subtract a few more years. But let's say you have 40 years left. Then even in that 40 years, you're going to have to make it all 100% fruitful and efficient so that you can enjoy each of these. Imagine if you're in maybe financial stress in most of this, then it leaves you down to maybe 5 or 10 that you can really enjoy, and that's not a lot at all. And that I'm pretty sure you understand. Which is why you have to realize that our time is ticking and we have to make an impact right now. Because we were all put in this world the same way, but we're all given the same time and maybe not the same resources, but we're all given the same time. So by the time you reach the age of 3, and I reach the age of 3, we've had the same number of days on earth. The world will put you here, but it's not going to help you understand how to navigate life or how it's going to impact you but rather you'll have to find your own way, because nobody's going to help you. You're going to have to understand for yourself that the world was there before you and the world is going to be there after you, and it will continue to resume with no problem. So it's your call, really. Do you want to make an impact right now, or do you want to just pass it by and leave the earth without making any impact, any remembrance of your existence on this planet? Because if you do, then you'd want to make the change. If you realize that you need to make an impact of your existence here, then you will see that motivation will just kick in, and everything that you thought, oh, I'm going to leave it for later. If you think of these two things, you're going to realize that your time is very limited. And so if you want to make an impact, you have to start moving right now. There's not enough time to waste away. So while there's productivity and there's people saying you got to chill a bit, well, that's true. You can only chill once you started working. You can't start chilling before you started working. So that's very important to understand. Time is limited. So if you want to save up on time, then we got to cut down on all the distractions around us. The first thing that I discovered on my journey to understanding how to make the best out of your time was to understand that you need to set clear goals to what you want to achieve. Now, the common misconception between many people is that they don't understand the difference between what goals and dreams are. Now, you might misconstrue this meaning, but goals are actually things you set in order to reach your dreams. So your dreams are like your ultimate goal. When everything's rosy and fine, you reach your dreams then. When everything is in order and you're actually on your upward trajectory. But goals are the steps you take in order to reach your dreams. And so we have to understand that these goals are not going to be the same for everybody. Your goals are not going to be my goals. And even the vision that we take are not going to be the same. Even if we all want to improve ourselves, the way that we get there is going to be very different. And it's actually fun to see that many people have different creative kind of ideas to reach that same kind of goal. That's why there is no one path. That's why when you see people say, you can get rich this way, you can get rich that way. No, that's one way of getting rich, but doesn't have to be the way you get rich. That's the whole point. Because I might get rich one way because my skill set might actually hone one set of skills, but yours might hone a different set of skills. So you can't say, or I can't say that you have to use this method and this is the only one which works. So which is why you have to set goals for yourself. You can't depend on other people, whether it's on the internet or maybe friends of yours or family members of yours, to set goals for you. Because their vision is going to be very different to what yours is. And it's very important that you understand what your purpose is, and that's how we're going to set goals for you. So first thing that you have to understand, goals are different from dreams. The second thing, you set goals for yourself by understanding what your interests are and what piques your desires. Skill that you need to master is to understand that you need to keep learning every single day and develop this curiosity for endless learning, because that's how all the great people reach where they are. And to become the best of the best, you have to keep learning every single day. Now, this is something that many people, especially the older generation, are realizing a little too late right now, that you have to keep on top of the new things, otherwise you're going to get left behind. And this is so fundamental and everybody should know this. But if you keep reading books, or if you keep trying to understand and try to hack knowledge that other people don't know, you're obviously going to get on top of everybody else. And it's that simple thing. You have to understand that the brain is actually huge and it's so big. It's like a treasure trove and we are not even using it. Think about it. The brain subconsciously has so much knowledge we don't even know about. At the back of our brains, there's a lot of knowledge that has not even been brought to the forefront of our brains. And if it is, you will not even recognize yourself, because that's how much knowledge the brain can store and that's how much it can understand. What we don't do though is that we don't push our brains to the limits. We don't pressure it to improve every single day. If you do that, you'll observe that the way that you think, the way that you interact with people, the way that you conduct yourself is going to change completely. Because the way that your brain is supposed to function might not be the way that you're functioning right now. Because if you are, then you're among the elites of the world, because they are the ones who kind of hack their brains and how it works. Because if you can hack your brain and understand the working of it, then you'll understand that learning is probably the single most important thing that you can do for the brain. And constantly challenging your brain is going to push it to new limits. Think about it. Why do you go to the gym? When you go to the gym and you lift weights, why do you do that? Because when you lift the weights, that's when your muscles being trained. That's when it realizes, well, what I'm doing right now is not sufficient because he's lifting all this weight and I can't deal with it this way. So what do I have to do? I have to improve. I have to push myself, improve myself. And that's why your muscles get big when you go to the gym and lift weights. Simple as that. So just like that, your brain's a muscle as well. So try and start using it. And how do you use it? By teaching it and learning consistently and constantly every single day. Learn something new you didn't know about yesterday and you're making progress in that field. Now, this next skill doesn't require you to learn anything or challenge your brain or challenge any part of you to improve yourself, but rather it's just acknowledging your community around you. And that's simply understanding that you need to surround yourself with positivity. You might have heard this phrase where positivity always breeds positivity, and that's very true. Because if you're with positive people, you're going to become positive yourself. Because it always goes back to that one law. It's the 5 people that you spend the most time with that you most resemble, and your character is built on those 5 people and how they act. And so think about it. If they are negative in nature, then that's going to rub off on you, especially if you spend so much time with them. But if they are positive, on the other hand, you're going to have positive thoughts, positive visions, you're going to have goals, you're going to think about where you need to be. But if you're going to be negative, you're going to spend your time in unnecessary stuff where you don't want to be. Maybe you don't really want to be there, maybe you do want to be there. And the truth is, if you want to be there, then this is not the video for you. But if you don't want to be there, if you want to move away, try to analyze these people. Who are the people that drag you down? And if you find that you spend your time more with negative people than positive people, well, there's a solution. That's why you are where you are, maybe because of the people you spend your time with. But now there is a quick fix to it. Not as quick, I would say, but it's pretty good if you are going to give it your time. All you have to do is understand the people around you, and if you have a good enough perception about people, then you're very good to make this call. All you have to do is understand those bright sparks in your friend groups or the people you know. Who is it that vibrates positivity and vibes when you interact with them? Who always gives you cheer? Whoever gives you a smile in your life? Spend time with them. Who are those who spend their time with actually meaningful stuff instead of wasting their time away? Those people are the ones you want to stick with. You don't want to stick with the other people who don't really do much, because that's not going to amount in the grand scheme of your life. Because that's very important to understand that your life is actually very minuscule and it's not too long. So if it's not that long, you don't have much time to correct it. So what you have to do is right now understand the people that are very positive and have a good outlook on life. Try to spend more time with them. I'm not saying alienate the other people, because I would never say that. It's not a good thing to do. But when you want to focus or when you want to actually do some hardcore work, then spend your time with these positive people, because they are going to push you forward. They're going to maybe motivate you to succeed in whatever you're trying to do. And that's what you want to do when you're trying to do something productive with your life, when you're trying to actually make it meaningful, and when you're trying to pursue something. So what I want you to remember from this video is that we don't have enough time on earth. We have a limited time, a finite amount of time, and it's our call to make it count or whether we want to lose it away. Because all we have to do is these few things that we discussed here, setting goals and actually pursuing positivity. And these few things can really help you propel yourself among the other people who might not really want to pursue this. Because that's how you stand out, and that's how you make yourself exceptional, and that's how you reach every single goal and ultimately the dreams that you really want to achieve. So if you guys found this to be useful, please go ahead and drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notifications bell so that anytime there's a new upload, you can hop on immediately. Go ahead and share it with your friends, especially those who might need that little push to push them back in the right direction. And it's all about building a community that answers themselves and nobody else. So see you guys in the next video, and remember, never stop dreaming. See you all.
The webs I'm weaving, I could take this crowd from seeing to believing. Got a taste